lesson learned. And I did this for from like my mid-20s till I was like in my mid-30s, so around 35, 45. And I was making progress, and I was teaching it in therapy, in group therapy, teaching people mindfulness, how to deal with their emotions. I was using it in this capacity in psychiatry. And then I started practicing transcendental meditation and learning more about that, followed by Kundalini meditation. But then, when I moved to Hawaii, I was in a place where I had gone through quite a bit of loss in my life, and I was not exactly sane, I'll just tell you. I mean, I just went out to Hawaii to really surf big waves and kind of maybe die, I don't know. But I found this meditation, I learned about this meditation called Vipassana, or Vipassana meditation. And these are these 10-day long meditation retreats. They're actually 12, they tell you they're 10. It's 1 day in and 1 day out. So if you ever do one, it's 12. But these meditation retreats are given at no charge all over the world. And for 10 days, you are in silence. And you just sit. It's 14, 16 hours a day of sitting and focusing on your breath and on your body sensations. There's 3 parts to it. The first 3 days, all you do is sit and focus with your eyes closed on the sensation of the touch of the breath as it passes over the nostrils. That is all you do until that's the single thing you can feel and focus on. And then on the 4th day, you expand your focus and you start focusing on your whole body and the sensations that are occurring there. And you do this for the next 4 days. And then the last 2 days is loving kindness, or metta meditation. That's meditation of loving kindness and compassion, where you begin to feel compassion for yourself and you extend this compassion out to others. And it's an amazing experience. If anybody has a chance to do this for 10 days of your life, I recommend this more than anything. So anyway, it's given for free, but if you complete a Vipassana meditation, you can then give a donation for the next people. So after you do it, they will take a donation, whatever. It's not high pressure or anything, but then the next spot. So I always tell people, go, I paid it forward, like I paid for you to go. So what I have received from meditation, it's completely changed my life, and especially when I started doing the Vipassana retreats, the 10-day intensive retreats. I'm a calmer person. I'm an all-around less agitated. Things don't bother me. Back when I lived in the States and I had a practice and I had a Porsche, and, I worked really hard and made as much money as I wanted to make, and I was not necessarily a happy person. I was questing after material stuff and really kind of lost. But then I was going to say, it's like 10 years of therapy in 10 days. You just become less attached to things. And things don't matter as much, whether it be the weather, whether it be your clothes. So I received a lot of different things that I think I've gotten from meditation. So I'm talking intentionally, very subjectively, and about myself. Next slide. So if we look at research on meditation, then, and specifically now we can look at the neuroscience of meditation and brain research on meditation. And you will actually see, and I hope I can prove this to you guys, that if you meditate now, start meditating now, tomorrow morning when you wake up, tonight before you go to sleep, over time you will start seeing beneficial changes to your brain, structural changes to your brain. Your brain will change. And so some of the things that we see in the, looking at the kind of umbrella of the research that's been done on meditation is there are structural changes in the brain. The cortex gets thicker. As you get older, your cortex gets thinner, you lose brain cells. People who meditate have more cortical thickness, more gray matter density. They have changes in the connectivity of their brain, the way their brain is talking to the other parts of itself. Changes in the functional connectivity. I'm going to show you all this stuff on brain scans too. Across the board, there are changes in physiology, changes in response to emotions, changes in people's blood pressure. Just walking around, blood pressure changes after 8 weeks of 1 hour a day mindfulness-based stress reduction training. This is me after I came back from my Vipassana retreat. It's not. I didn't wear the robe. But this is the kind of brain scans that I do. So this is Dr. Richard Davidson's lab in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. But this is an EEG cap that he's wearing, and it's monitoring the electrical activity that's being produced by his brain, which is a very small current in the order of microvolts. It's picked up by these sensors on the head, and it goes into a box. The box is an amplifier that amplifies the signal. It sends it to the computer, and the computer can look at it in 3 dimensions. Okay? Any? Brain science? If you look at people who have had strokes in the left brain, they report the stuff that I just put up there. If their right brain's hyperactive, there's this TED talk of this neuroscientist who had a stroke. You seen that one? And she started talking about the same thing I put up there, right? This right brain, this area, seems to be connected with like feeling of connection, collective consciousness. You know, I'm trying to be scientific and be a neuroscientist here, but there is some metaphysics to this. I was noticing things that were just hyper-perception. I had hyper-perception. What's the next one? So that's interesting. One person, and one doesn't mean anything, but it's interesting to remark on. So then the next thing I did after I looked at what happened to my brain is I went to the research and I said, well, is this true? What's going on here? And so I was able to find some research studies on Vipassana meditation, looking at EEG gamma frequency, very high frequency, higher than high beta, and altered states of consciousness and experience of the self. And so it seems as though the research is saying right posterior, right, frontotemporal, dissolution, reconstitution of the experience of the self. And so we have here something very important. So compassion meditation affects inflammatory response, emotional response. And so you see that, and I'm just, I keep hammering this home, it's more than just learning to relax, it's more than just lowering your blood pressure, it's actually immune mediators in your body, it's changing your neurotransmitters, it's changing the way your brain is connected, and if your metabolism is changing in such a way, the way your liver is functioning is changing, the way your kidneys are functioning is changing, it's all connected. It's like talking about this is like, I feel like maybe talking about exercise in like the 1940s. It just wasn't done. You didn't sweat. You didn't move. And I feel like bringing this now, meditation, and talking about it, in 3 decades, it's going to be self-evident. Everybody. Again. Okay. Is anybody familiar with the Washington, D.C. Transcendental Meditation Project? Yes. Nobody else? Okay. So, this was a study done in Washington, D.C. in 1993 during the summertime when the murder rate was super high in Washington, D.C. And they had 4,000 participants in transcendental meditation. Come to the city, go to the park, meditate. And they had the results independently reviewed by a whole bunch of people with a lot of letters out there. ayahuasca, and what's the other one? Ibogaine. I think ayahuasca is a hallucinogen.
Okay, I'll break even, it's fine. But then when I got here, they were like, nope. So, they gave me 100, 200 a month, but then I have to pay $100. So around 8,600 pesos.